Yo, what is up, guys? Appreciate you guys hopping in here real quick. It looks like there's some people that want to talk about the definitely the good news. The I guess you could say I don't want to say refreshing is the right word, but it's definitely. I mean, if you looked at this on what was the game Friday night, and you told me that this was going to be the maybe out a week or two, I would say I'm sure a lot of us would have said you're crazy. So all in all, I mean, really good news on the Zach Wilson front, and obviously the good news we saw today from the training camp reports from Joe Flacco looks to be in control and comfortable in the offense and had a great day. So I'm gonna open this up. I want you guys all to come in and just get it off your chest and in a good way. Usually it's a vent session with bad news for the Jets, but this time it's actually some good news. So I will start it. I'll let you guys through. We'll keep it kind of keep the time frame tight here and let everybody get in because I got a lot of requests here. I'm going to put the first few people in, and I see Joey, I see Benny, I see Ben, two Bens, Benny and Ben. I see Time to BS. We'll open it up. Joey, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's up? I'm just feeling fucking so jacked. That's pretty much
Yeah.
thank God, bro. Of course,
Feeling
the
damn
Athletic and
good.
all this shit just put out 4 to 6 weeks from the Athletic. They don't know shit. So everyone else is saying like 1 to 3 weeks, possible week 1. I just want them out there healthy, and Flacco can man the ship until then. But man, that's the first time we got a little lucky in a shitty scenario. I was
Mhm.
fully prepared to get the worst news possible and punched in the throat. But his knee's great, this and that. So that, thank God, man. That's all.
Yeah, because you saw, you saw when it first happened, everybody expected the worst, the A word, right?
Oh, of course.
I hate mentioning it because I think when you put it out there, it's just in the atmosphere, and I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But then then the game ended, whatever. I'm sure nobody really cared about the rest of the game. I could speak for myself. I couldn't care less what happened. I was just worried about, is this guy out for the year, and do we have to kick this whole quarterback thing down another year? Then you saw some of the reports from, I think it was Diana Rossini, who was the first one to really say, I think the A word is out, and they were more worried about the PCL or another issue. But she almost kind of, pulled everybody off the ledge a little bit, saying, they think they kind of, you know, didn't have the worst outcome. They avoided a disaster, and so you started to feel a little bit better as the night went on. Then you heard, I think it was Samini who was the first one to put out that they feel like it's not that long of an injury. With the meniscus, obviously 2 to 4 weeks, and then over the past day or two, you heard some like, oh, they're not going to know exactly what it is until they get in there and see how
Yeah. That
damaged
was
that is.
gut wrenching.
So
Gut wrenching.
all we could do now is like, fuck, we're waiting on this world renowned doctor to let us know what's really going on. So it was definitely a relief to see that. I don't think the 4 to 6 weeks is too crazy because that puts you in line with missing the first two games, and I think if I were a betting man, and I'm not, that would be my guess. Is Zach is back week 3 at home against the Bengals.
Yeah. Either way, you're right. Great news.
Yeah.
I don't know. I ain't a doctor, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I was also low key a little worried about last year, the PCL. So the good thing is we know like this kid's knee is like rock solid moving forward. There's no
Mhm.
weird shit lingering. And I don't know, that's comforting. So now it's just get him healthy and play ball. And I don't know, the anxiety is off all our shoulders. But I'll let
For
someone
sure.
else talk, bro. You
Appreciate it,
guys are
Joey.
the best.
Be
All
good,
right,
bro.
man. Later,
The
bro.
football gods rejoice. What's
Yeah,
going on, bro? How you been?
good, man. What's going on? They took it easy on the Jet fans for once.
It's all good, man. I try to take it easy as much as I can on Jet fans as well. But you guys drive me nuts every now and then. But the football gods are on the sides of the Jets for once in a blue moon. I was worried, not only as a New Yorker, but as grew up in a family of Jet fans. It was nerve wracking when I saw the knee injury. I was like, oh no, please
Mhm.
don't. I texted a few buddies of mine, and I texted one. Zach Wilson hurt his knee, and his first thought was, "I'm going to get some tequila. Please hold the phone."
Yeah. Yeah, man, that
So
was the thought of many Jet fans for
that was
sure.
the thought. I think the entire fan base was rested on the surgical tools of one man to repair this brother's knee and give some hope for the Jet fans for the first time in a long time. And it's not out of the ordinary to say this Jets team with competent quarterback play is not a bad looking team.
Right.
I'm not wrong to say that, right?
No, the talent's there. Joe Douglas has put at least they're young for sure, highlighted by a few veterans sprinkled in there, like on the offensive
Yeah,
line and the D line
yeah.
and linebacker spot. But all in
Carl
all, it's
Lawson and
talented and
Jermaine
young.
Johnson. Carl Lawson and Jermaine Johnson. Those two can be wrecking crews.
Yeah.
Those two can be a wrecking crew if healthy.
Yep.
And if you get Carl Lawson like he was when he was first in Cincinnati, then this could be good. Quan Alexander with C.J. Mosley, men in the linebacking spots. Quan Alexander might be the most underrated signing the Jets have made in a very long time.
Yeah.
Like
Agreed.
that,
Yeah, it was
that made me play.
especially this late in the summer with such questions outside of C.J. Mosley. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, man, the talent is there. There's no excuses this year that hey, they're a rebuild team. I would say they're probably in the latter stages of the rebuild to the point where wins and losses start to matter. So couldn't have you couldn't have
Of
yeah
course.
the team might have been better in the short term with Joe Flacco because he's been around the league forever, a Super Bowl MVP. He
Yeah.
can kind of man the fort, but you need to know what you have in this quarterback, and you couldn't go another year. Couldn't have a missing year because next year would
No.
be his rehab year. Back on the field after a big injury. You still don't know what you have, and the team is ahead of Zach Wilson in terms of this rebuild, and you don't want him to be the one holding them back because that's not a good look for anybody. So it's important for him to get on the field and play as many games as possible because the Jets need to know at the end of the year if Zach Wilson is their quarterback going forward.
And probably the other more underrated signing that the Jets have recently made was Dwayne Brown.
For
Dwayne
sure.
Brown easily is their left tackle.
Yep.
Because you had no idea what was going to happen with Mekhi Becton.
Mm-hmm.
George Fant, love him to death, back from his Seahawk days. He's a right tackle. He can play right tackle, he can play left tackle, but he's a better right tackle than he's a left tackle.
Well, he had a better year at left tackle for the Jets last year, and that was the whole reason why Becton was going to move to right tackle because they felt in this offense and this system that they run, Fant was a better left tackle and proved it last year. But I'm gonna move around now. I got some hands. And I got some people on the speaker. I appreciate you coming through.
Good from here, you guys.
You too, bro. All right,
yo,
Benny,
yo, what's up? What's up, Pete?
Frankie?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? What's up, everyone out there? Yeah, real quick. I just I'm very happy that the surgery went well. I think this is going to be good for Zach. I think it's going to allow him to take a step back. We saw on those first couple drives how little chaotic he looked out there, and I hate being the person to look too much into a few drives into preseason, but maybe this was good. Maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself, came into the season, maybe not as prepared as he thought. Now he gets to take a step back, go back, study the playbook a little bit better, look at what Joe's doing, put a little bit more pressure on himself. Maybe he thought it was going to be easier this year, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe he needed this. So I'm glad that he's able to take a step back now. Nothing too serious, and hopefully we'll have him by, I don't know, week 2, week 3. But we'll talk about it later. If Joe comes out and wins, the first couple games, and we're 2-0 or 3-0, what's going to happen then? But we'll get into that later because I don't want to open up that Pandora's box. I hope that happens, by the way.
Of course.
Like, let's go 2 or 3-0, and then we'll worry about a quote unquote QB controversy, but I don't know. That's probably not going to happen.
Yeah,
honest,
I mean
but,
that I know that's a hot topic and it's a conversation piece. I don't ever see a point in that conversation because it's like, all that needs to happen is Flacco is the same guy we saw the past 4 years, 5 years. He gets his ass kicked and we're just begging for Zach Wilson to come back. It's really just about, is this guy the quarterback going forward after the season? And really, it's not a. I know we all want to see wins this year, and they want to be in meaningful games in December, but it's still a very young team. They're all developing. If nothing else, this 2 game, let's call it 2 game absence for Zach allows the offensive line to kind of get in rhythm because again, it's 4 new starters at different positions. The only one at the same position returning is McGovern. Um, it's new players on offense still, so you're letting them kind of get into a groove a bit and kind of play and get some continuity together. And then Zach will come back and he'll have everybody else at least up to speed, and then no excuses for him. So the offensive line will gel. They'll have a chance to play together, and everything's not new on the fly again like it was for him last year. So if you want to take a silver lining out of it, that's what I take out of it. But we'll go Benny, we'll go Mike, then we'll go to Ben Klein. So we'll do that
Yeah,
3.
how's it
and
going?
then
How's it going?
good, man. What's going on?
I'm feeling
What's up, bro?
great. Wilson's going to kill it this year. We already know, and the main thing that is going through my mind is in that gray area when we didn't know what was happening. There's a lot of ACL rumors. A lot of Finns fans were like chirping Wilson and rooting for that injury. And, on top of this fantastic news, finding out that Zach's doing all right, it feels kind of good seeing that Tua threw 3 picks today at camp. And, all these people who were hating on him and being really unclassy, rooting for an injury, are starting to eat their words. And on top of all that, you had the people who wanted us to sign Jimmy G. I would have been really pissed off if we did that. I really believe in Zach. And I think that you have Flacco and you have Mike White. And, we have a great quarterback depth when you really zoom out and you look at the Mike White miracle of last season. So, all in all, I'm feeling really good. I think that a lot of these Jets haters are going to eat their words, especially the Finns fans. And I'm feeling real good.
Hell yeah, bro.
Nice, man.
That's what I'm saying. And Mats and Solo, there's some people on Twitter who are just the absolute worst with that. So I'm really excited. Tua really just, when you look at Zach, he is arm strength. I really think that that's one of his main things.
Sometimes too much.
Look, and Mac Jones has a great eye, but I think Tua, it's like there's no accuracy there. It's all he chucks it at Tyreek in the flat, and when you zoom out, it's all yak for him. So I'm feeling really good. I think Zach's gonna eat it all up. I think Flacco's gonna open up strong, and life is real good.
Nice, man. Let's go to the other Benny. We'll go Benny, Mike knows, and then we'll go to Jonathan who just hopped in.
Got it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it, bro.
Yo, let's fucking go, bro. Holy shit. I was at work all day, literally scrolling, like, give me an update. Like, I can't fucking focus on shit. This is fucking fantastic, bro. I still think there's no shot in hell Zach plays week 1. I don't want him to play week 1. He's going to need a whole week of practice, in my opinion, to get the rust off, to get rhythm back. And week 1 is just too close. The Ravens are a really good fucking defense. I wouldn't be so fucking pressed to just throw Zach in there again. I genuinely think week 2, but even week 3, I'll take that as well. I'm ecstatic. This is huge. And I know Ben just mentioned it before, but we do have a really good quarterback room because of Zach Wilson and Joe Flacco, not because of Mike White. I'm done with the Mike White hype. Like, that was all cute for those first 2-3 weeks, but it's been old. It's dead. Mike White kind of sucks. But let's go. I'm so hyped we don't got to see Mike White anymore.
Yeah, it's funny about Mike White. It's like there's people who absolutely love him, and then there's people who absolutely hate him. It's like there's no real. I mean, I'm kind of in between. I don't think he's any good, but I also don't think he's as bad as some Jet fans. Like, if he could develop into like a decent backup, then shit. I mean, as you can see how important backup quarterbacks are. So there's definitely a reason why he's hanging around, and obviously he's a fit with what they're doing in the offense. And we saw the really good and the really bad. I know kind of the stats lied a bit about that Bengals game and how he played, but he moved the offense up and down the field, and based on some of the quarterback play we've seen the last decade, there's a lot to say about that. So I won't shit on Mike White for that. I think he's cool. The team likes him, and I hope he could develop into the backup quarterback here. But yeah, I mean, Flacco's the guy in the short term, and Zach is obviously who everybody's hitching their wagon to. So obviously, he needed to play this year. So we'll go to Mike, and we'll go Mike, Jonathan, and then the exclamation point.
All I'm gonna say today is, it was about the Joe Flacco comment about if he gets a win. The last time we won in September, Sam Darnold started his first game in Detroit.
Wow. Yeah,
Let
against the
that set into
Lions.
your head, and then let's move on from that conversation about a win in September and whoever the hell's that quarterback. Let's get a fucking win.
Mm-hmm. You're
All
right,
I'm
man.
worried about. I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think now that people know Zach is coming back, the like I don't know if the hatred it's I wouldn't say it's hatred, but like I think it's a lot of it is nerves too, because people are like, oh, if Flacco plays well, what are we gonna do? But it's like this guy is the quarterback. The second he's healthy enough to play, he's gonna play.
The
There's no competition.
the problem is, and I think we all know it, that we're all living and dying off of whatever the hell Zach does.
Yep.
If Zach is bad, our lives are going to be terrible. If Zach is great, our lives are going to be amazing. We just hope that he's somewhere in the middle of good and amazing.
Yep. No
Good and
pressure.
amazing. He doesn't have to be spectacular. He doesn't have to be elite. He doesn't have to be the GOAT. He shares the birthday with the GOAT. All I want is competent football for, I'm gonna say 75% of the year. 75. If you get 75, that means that we're in the game every week.
You're right. Yeah, I mean he's got to. Yes, you drafted him too, so you want him to be the reason you're winning games. I don't think anybody really wants to sign up for a game manager in with the number 2 pick, but we're barely. He didn't even play a full season yet, so let's take a step back off of the terrible throw and decision he made last week. On the interception, then the injury. Let's let him grow within the offense with some of these young players, and then we make a decision at the end of the year and say, all right, we feel good about this guy going forward, or maybe we don't have the guy. Look at the Josh Allen progression he made. Year 1, he was really kind of terrible. Year 2, he still wasn't great, but he gave the Bills belief in that this guy can be the guy. Then year 3, he's in the MVP conversation. So yeah, I don't expect that to happen for Zach, but hey, he needs to show the progress and give the Jets and all of us as fans, a reason to believe that he's going to be the guy going forward.
Yeah, and to play off of that a little bit and just to give some more context, Josh Allen, look at his first year, was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
52% completion percentage, 2,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I mean, similar year to Zach. Zach actually may have had a better year first year. So, and then the second year, 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
You signing up for that, Frank?
20 touchdowns. Yeah, literally this trajectory, I love it. 2010 and 12. 3,020 and 10, right? You kind of flip it. And then you go to the 4,500 year or 4,400, whatever it is. That's the
what did the Bills
do,
Frank? The most important thing that the Jets have not done yet to any single quarterback that they've drafted and developed. What did the Bills do in those 3 seasons, in the offseason?
They brought in Stephon Diggs.
They kept the coaching staff. They kept the same head coach
and
the same offensive coordinator. He wasn't learning a new system every year. They gradually improved the roster year by year.
Absolutely.
Bringing in Diggs. Yeah, I mean, the Jets probably have a better supporting cast in year 2 than the Bills had. Drafting Garrett Wilson, let's see how how him and Elijah Moore progress. Corey Davis, even though it seems like every mistake Zach makes is usually when he's locked onto Corey Davis. I don't know if it's a coincidence or if there's something there. But you add the tight ends, and then next year, let's say that you move on from Corey Davis. Maybe next year is the year the Jets find their Stephon Diggs, or unless one of these young kids turn into one. Maybe next year is the year you make a big drastic trade and you get an absolute slam dunk number 1 receiver if he proves that he's on that projection. So, but the most important thing is you kept the coaching staff and the offensive system intact for Zach Wilson, which you can't say the same for Darnold. You can't say the same for Geno, the rest of these guys who they tried to develop.
This is the issue, though, or this could become an issue. Sean McDermott is a very good head coach. I don't think he gets a lot of I don't think he gets enough praise for how well he's done in Buffalo. I mean, he's been there since 2017. He was there when they brought in, Josh Allen. Now, is Robert Saleh going to be able to support Zach in a similar fashion that Sean did? Because there's times in history that we can look back and say this quarterback got screwed because of his coaching staff. And I think that's something that Josh Allen was fortunate enough to go to Buffalo and have that consistent staff there, because maybe if he went to us or Miami, he wouldn't have been the Josh Allen that's the MVP favorite this year. So
definitely, for sure, there's a lot to be said about that. And yeah, McDermott has turned out to be like a top. I mean, you could argue he's a top 5 coach in football, and Brian Daboll was
absolutely
probably a top 5 offensive coordinator in football. So, Frank, I love LaFleur. I think the system is great. It's a complex system. If it takes a lot for a young quarterback to learn, but if you digest the system and you really like fully entrench yourself in it and you become that star quarterback in it, it's the best system in my opinion in football. But it will take some time, and it's tough. It's a tough one to learn. I see a lot of hands, so I'm going to definitely get around the room. We'll go to exclamation point. You were first. We'll go you, then we'll go Petey, Mark, and Splash. Petey, what's up?
Let him go. I'm in a store.
No, I was saying what's up. I don't know. There he goes. He's off mute.
Oh, I'm tripping. Hey, how you doing?
You're good, bro. What's going on?
Man. So look, I'm not a Jimmy Garoppolo apologist. I'm happy that Zach Wilson isn't injured long term, but just humor me. Would it make sense to bring in a veteran quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo and allow Zach Wilson to almost take a redshirt year? I feel like I'm not going to judge him on the first drive. I'm not going to judge him for, whatever happened with his injury. But I just think that he could benefit from sitting behind somebody if he's going to be the long-term solution. I know they've done a lot more than they've done in recent history for quarterbacks, but I don't know. I just feel like if he doesn't perform and he regresses, he'll bear the burden of it.
Well, that's why they have Flacco, though. Like, isn't that what Flacco's here for?
I feel like Flacco is a 1 to 2 week kind of guy. I just have a feeling that they're going to stick him in there for Cleveland, and I don't think that I don't feel like that should be the right thing to do. I feel like he should sit out the entire AFC North.
Let me say something. I think we should have done that last year, but the year passed already. So at this point, let the kid play whenever he can. If Zach's injury was more significant and maybe you didn't trust Flacco throughout the whole yeir because he is old and he is a sitting duck back 100%. There, and you're not necessarily going to be able to develop throughout the year. I don't know who's high flying right now.
Someone's on the highway. You better be careful, man.
But no, you're good. Listen, if Zach's injury was more serious, even if it was like a 6 to 8 week injury, I may agree with you. But at this point, man, have Joe play week 1, maybe week 2. Have Zach come in, let him play the whole year. And the other thing I want to say before we go around, because we got some people coming up and we'll go through. Nick kind of has a cue there. People that are hating on Zach for making that cut in that game, in the preseason game, I'll say right now, it's freaking football. I don't care about that hit on the sideline. Yeah. I don't care about that hit on Jalen Hurts. I liked it in a weird way. It was really late, but I liked it. Fuck it. Hit the guy. Get thrown out. Who cares? This is football. What the hell is this? Sirianni yelling at fucking... Yeah, it's a statement. Let's go. Let's pick it up a little bit. And Zach Wilson's trying to pick it up. I like that he didn't slide or go out of bounds. Go ahead. He didn't do what Jimmy did. He didn't try to truck stick a freaking cornerback and tear his ACL like Jimmy did. Why not?
He's showing some
it's
heart.
Football.
But, I had no problem with the run. If you're out there, if you're out there and you're playing like it's, you're playing your game. The second you stop and you try and do something you're not comfortable doing is when you do get hurt. Unfortunately, the cleat got stuck in the turf and it turned the wrong way and he got hurt. But look, we escaped the dreaded A injury, so I'm not worried about it anymore. Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
Please, just very quick. We got to get some new fucking team doctors, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you really just can't trust Becton, period, anymore. So when you hear any kind of Becton news, just like take it with a grain of salt because he's he's fragile. Just a different guy, But hey, they knew from right away that Zach was okay in a way. So,
yeah. Thank you, guys.
I agree, man. Of course. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I agree with you, though, Frank. Now it's like there's no point for Jimmy G. If he was out for the season, I would have brought Jimmy G because I don't want to see Joe Flacco. Not only I don't think he's good enough, I also just don't want to be bored out of my fucking mind watching Joe Flacco try and play quarterback for 16, 17 weeks. So let's move on. We got a lot of hands. We'll go PD, Splash, Matty Ice, JoJo. Whatever. Let's just open it up. Go ahead. Who cares?
Nick, Frankie, what's up?
What's up, buddy?
Just,
Yo, what's up, my man?
Just happy. You know, I was expecting the worst. You know, so well, listen. I'm in my 40s. I've seen nothing but shit. So I'm happy about this, and you know, I'm just the whole freaking 4-0 talk. And when's the last time the Jets won a freaking September game?
Just worry about
right.
week 1,
That's what
guys.
I'm saying.
Like stop getting ahead of
oh
yourselves.
my
We haven't won
gosh.
4 games in a fucking year for 4 years. Worry about week 1 because we're probably going to lose that game.
Someone last
So you
night
don't have to worry
said,
about
he's
it.
like, I'd be surprised if the Jets don't go 3-1.
Right.
I'm like, are you serious?
Well,
he goes, the Bengals. He's like, hey, they're coming in this year. They might be on the Super Bowl hangover. I'm like, dude,
gosh.
please hold
It's like when you simulate Madden on rookie, these fucking guys.
Bro,
just play week 1
hey,
and worry about that.
Hey, Nick and Frankie, can you imagine if some of these guys were on Twitter in 2010 and 11? Oh, my gosh. Frankie, you might be in jail,
Lord.
bro.
I probably would. Yeah.
But
I'm surprised you're not yet still.
God, shout out to you guys. And I just, you know, came on to listen. I appreciate everybody's support, you guys, and I support you guys. You know, I
appreciate
know
you,
you guys.
Great job last night, by the way.
Thanks. I know you guys a long time, and you know, I'm just happy. At least the fucking Jets finally got some good news. I mean,
I know,
bro.
man. Hopefully, we continue with it.
My only take is I got to be honest. When I saw him go out, I was just numb, bro. I'm like, are you kidding me again? That's all I said. Like again, and I said again 50 times in a matter of a minute in my head. So that's all I'm gonna say, guys. Good job.
I know, man. I hear you. And PD and Tanad do a great job Monday nights with the Jet Lounge guys. I know we see a lot of the Jet Lounge crew in here. I see Cousins. I see JoJo. I see Matty Ice. I see Mark. A lot of good dudes up here. Appreciate you guys all joining in. Come up and request a chat. We're going to put everybody through. It doesn't matter. And
by the way,
I know we like to do the hands and all, but
I love that NY Daily News reporter you got up yesterday. I love
Antoine
his
is
analysis.
awesome.
Yeah.
Really good.
Can I just do this for you, Frankie?
About time the Daily News has a good quality person working for them.
You should have heard when I had DJ and Damien on a couple months ago. There was a guy that came up, Mo Meta, his name was, and I'm like, Mo Meta, I'm gonna bring you up, but if you're related to Manish, and the whole room just started laughing. He would, bro. What, Manish? Get out of here. Manish is worse than some of these takes by Jeff fans, bro, which is pretty bad.
You better be careful. Manish is definitely on a burner somewhere.
Yeah, all right.
100%.
All right, who's next? Matty Ice, right? Matty Ice, Mark, and then Splash. Well, Splash is a Ravens fan, everybody. Should we even let him talk? Not to throw him under the bus?
Yes.
All right, we'll let him talk. Go, Splash, you go first before the Jet fans, because I know you've been waiting.
Hi there, guys. So as the one person in this chat that does own a Flacco jersey, congratulations. Are
you worried?
Not really. That's what am I supposed to say? The Ravens are better than the Jets. If they lose, it's a disappointment.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like the Raiders last year. It was a disappointing loss. Same thing if you lose to the Jets this year. You should beat them by 10. Anyways, so number one, we mentioned the Bills earlier. I had this bizarro thought. If Antonio Brown doesn't veto the trade to go to Buffalo, where is Stephon Diggs nowadays? I was just thinking about that earlier. Number two, for all the Zach Wilson criticism or whatnot, one thing the Jets have done that is almost a slam dunk guarantee is they have figured out the offensive line. They're going to have one of the top lines in the NFL, and that's one interesting wrinkle to me, that it might not be the Zach Wilson show, and they could win games with Breece Hall and a dominant rushing attack. And if you have Zach Wilson throw the ball 20 times a game, you can win games to me with Breece Hall, Michael Carter, the receivers you guys have, the tight end room, and just win games off with the offensive line and just pound teams into the dirt. Because how many teams can go up against, that's one of the top 5 guard duos in the NFL. You have a halfway decent center. Both of your tackles have a brain. I don't think there's more than 5 offensive lines that get a check mark in all 5 spots. So credit to the Jets there. we can talk if they're going to win 6 games or 8 games or whatever, but they have figured out the offensive line. There is something going right there. It might not be the quarterback, but it definitely is the offensive line. So I wanted to give you guys some credit for that.
Yeah, I agree, Splash. I think the issue you might have earlier in the year, and this is where Flacco might help, where Wilson may have been more of a detriment, is 4 new starters, let's call them, even though Fant and Vera Tucker were there last year, but they're at new positions. Fant was your left tackle, although week 1 Fant was at right tackle, but for the majority of the year it was Vera Tucker and Fant on the left side. Now they move over to the right side. You have a new starting left tackle and a new left guard. So it might take them a few games to gel, even though like most teams it takes you a few weeks now because nobody plays in preseason anymore. These training camps are garbage. They're not even real practices anymore. So a guy like Flacco who sees the game better, it's slower to him. Obviously Zach is still spinning, as you can tell from that interception week 1. So he may kind of buy the offensive line some time to kind of gel and get together. So I agree there. I think the offensive line is really good. You have better blocking tight ends than they've had in the past few years. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, Nick, I agree with that 100%. I think that Flacco is going to help the offensive line pick up on blitz protections, gel a little bit. I don't know, Splash, maybe you can do some analysis on this. I know you're a big like F War, D this, underscore, F stat, whatever the fuck you look at. But if you can look at Connor McGovern, because I have a feeling that he may be the weak link on this Jets offense. He is, yeah. And honestly, I think like a lot of these blitzes that we don't pick up on, and the other week someone was saying that, like Kim and Lakin are having some issues like on some blocks and whatnot. I mean, that's just one thing I wish the Jets would look at, and maybe next offseason is bring on a better center.
He's a free agent next year too, so he'll be most likely be upgraded.
I kind of wanted Tucker to stay on the left side, but whatever, who cares? It doesn't matter. But yeah, let's go around the room.
Who do we got? I think Matty Ice. You've been waiting the longest, right? We'll go Matty Ice, Mark, JoJo Cousins.
Yeah, I know Petey took a little bit of heat for not being able to sleep on Friday night after the injury. I actually was just like Petey. I had a pretty tough time sleeping myself. So I'm really happy to see this news. I do gotta disagree with you, Frankie. I don't think Quincy Williams' hit was smart. I know you like the idea of sending like an enthusiastic message to the team, but I feel like there's a fine line between physicality and just kind of idiocy.
Matty, Frank watched the Jeter documentary and he saw the fight where they told Strawberry to fight, and he's been gung ho about it since then. So he wants to see a fight. That's all.
Yeah, he's old school. I get it. I like a big hit and everything. I feel like a Belichick coach team is not making
100%
kind of that kind of hit in a pre. It's not smart. Football is about discipline and execution at the end of the day, and that shows neither. You got to know where the sideline is. But I'm just happy. I'm in a good mood. I'm excited, and I think we're gonna roll with Joe, and I think he's gonna play well. And let's hope for the best. I gotta go. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Thanks for checking in, bro. Appreciate it, bro. Mark, what's up, man?
What's up, everybody? The season is back on. The Jets are back up, and I just want to say this, man.
Already.
Yeah, I just want to say this, man. The whole point of this year was going to be able to see if Zach Wilson is the guy. Have the Jets finally landed a franchise quarterback. And a couple series into the first preseason game, that entire plan was in jeopardy. So now we can all take a collective breath and let the preseason play out, let the season play out. We're going to get the answer that we're looking for. The plan is back on. It's the most important piece on the field. That's it.
Yeah, it's the most important position in sports, man. I mean, it's one of the hardest positions to play also. I think a lot of times we don't say that enough as sports fans. Playing quarterback in the NFL is freaking hard. Not only is it hard on the field, it's hard off the field. You have to grow up quick. You can't be a 20-year-old out there, going out, partying, trying to, be around whatever you like to be around. I mean, you really got to grow up. You got to put your big boy hat on. It's a tough world for quarterbacks. So that's why you usually see the ones that are the most successful ones are the ones that are the most mature at a younger age. Russell Wilson was very mature early on. Mahomes was mature early on. I mean, like a lot of these guys that are successful, they're mature. Then you have the assholes like Ryan Leaf that come in with hotheads and they don't really work out all that well. You know, Jameis Winston, first overall pick, didn't really work out early on because these guys aren't mature when they come in. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Zach's about. I like things that I'm hearing, but again, it's got to be conducive to scoring touchdowns and winning games, obviously. But yeah, let's go to Cousins. He's had his hand up. Cousins, JoJo, and Jokes. Let's rock it out.
JoJo was before me. I'm eating. I'll be 1 minute.
All right, cool.
Sorry.
Cool. What are you eating?
I can let the older
breakfast
first.
Breakfast at 4?
No, JoJo, don't go older. We'll go baseball. First place should go first, mate. Prick.
Wait, what are you eating, Cousins? What are you having? Bacon egg?
Egg and
Come on,
cheese.
bro.
All right.
Sausage, egg, and cheese. It's delicious too.
Got to put a little home fries on there. This is my hot sauce. There we go.
Ooh, no hot sauce for me, but the home fries is good. Always support you guys. This app has become one of my favorite apps. I love the baseball. I'm there every week. This is another one, and a lot of the guys from the Jet Lounge are in here too, who I rock with and I value their opinions. But I'm glad the kid's all right. I think it's going to be on the long end. I partially tore my ACL and cartilage and had a bone bruise, and I have no doctors like they do, no physical therapists like they do. I'm telling you, it's no joke. Getting strength and stability back is major important. So my thing is he's not going to miss the year, even if it's 6 weeks. The only thing that got me, and I was losing my mind listening the other night, is like people all of a sudden, Joe Flacco's won 2 games in like 3 fucking years. Joe Flacco is going to rally us? Like, this kid is our future. This kid is our hope. This kid, when he is healthy and mentally ready to get out there, the Jets are going to get him out there right 100%. Away. Like people talking like Joe Flacco is going to make these receivers better. Like, what the fuck? We're talking about Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl 10 years ago. He's 37 years old. Like, people turned on Zach. Like, he didn't mature and didn't show progression last year after he got hurt and came back. He stopped turning the ball over. He made better decisions. The first 3 drives in Philly, the game against Tampa, like, we know who our quarterback is. Now we have to develop him. And I just was a little embarrassed. Some Jet fans wanted to move on from this kid and throw this kid aside. I just think it's preposterous.
Yeah, it's the next man up syndrome, right? It's like, well, he threw a pick and he got hurt. Now we're talking ourselves into the next guy. And
yeah, it's like the perfect negative storm. All that happened within like 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
You psych yourself into like, maybe we got the next Vinny or maybe we got the next Kurt Warner. That happens once in a blue moon. It doesn't happen, and it's not going to happen. He's here to hold down the fort while he comes back. I agree with you, Cousins. I think it'll be on the longer term. I think week 1, there's no shot he plays. I think week 2, there's no shot he plays. I said week 3 all along was my guess. You get him back home against the Bengals, who, there's some comfort level that the Jets handle the Bengals. I don't know why. Same thing with the Eagles. Like, the Jets never beat the Eagles, but they always beat the Bengals. You get him at home again. Who knows? Maybe if they go 1-1 again, I'm not going to try to get ahead of myself and predict the records. But if you're 1-1, it's kind of like the season just started again. So I think that's a good kind of landing spot for him. But yeah, is the knee stable? Does he trust it? That's another thing. It's the mental side of it too. So, hey, even if he misses, like you said, 6 games, he's going to play the majority of this season, and that's all you really. On Friday night, if you would have asked me, hey, would you take him coming back week 7, I would have fucking said, please, So I'm with you there. JoJo, what's up?
Frankie, Nikki, we're fucking back, boys. We're back. Fuck
the
all
season's back on.
Say about Joe Flacco. I don't care all those wheelchairs going up to the handicap section to watch fucking Joe Flacco for the rest of the year. Fuck that. Let him do his job in the first couple of weeks, then get Z-Will back in that shit, and let's get going.
Let's go.
Fuck that shit. None of that.
Need that, man.
We need it, baby.
Yeah.
Keep that energy up. Don't ever lose that energy up
I'm not
for
like
the next
Petey.
month, all right?
I'm not losing my fucking sleep at night over a goddamn bone bruise. I'm not doing any of that shit. Week 3, he comes back. He's going to fucking tear up the goddamn league, and let's go.
I love it. Yeah, man, the spaces have been piss parties the past few days. So I'm happy to hear a little bit of good energy for once. I appreciate that.
Let's go. And the fucking take the Braves tonight.
I think so too. I think they're gonna beat up the Mets, but I don't want Cousins to hear me and hate me about that.
I agreed with JoJo for a minute, and then he's got to go and say something I can't agree with. Last night was their game. They couldn't lose last night. Tonight, I think is a different night.
I have some bad. I don't know. When I saw the Guillorme injury out for 8 weeks, and then they call up some asshole from like quadruple A, I just felt like Metsian vibes again for the first time this year. Then Carrasco gets shelled, and he's out for 6 weeks or whatever.
You see the lineup tonight?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they're going to lose like a stretch of like 6
So
out of 10
are
here.
you guys going to opening day or what?
I don't know. I don't know if Frank is. I know we're doing the tailgate stuff with the Jet Lounge guys, which we'll announce, in the coming days or weeks once we just kind of finalize a few things. I'm going to try. Frank, are you going week 1?
Frankie's going to roll out of an Uber at fucking like 12:50.
Yeah. You've never met the kid, and you're exactly fucking right.
I want to go.
Wait, how the hell did he know that?
I don't know. He must have heard. He's heard me rant a few times on
the night before, and he's coming to the Jets game fucking at 12:59, getting ready to get.
Wait, let him stay at your house, JoJo. At least he gets a ride
there.
there.
Please.
Let's go. I'll strap you in the kid's seat in the back of the truck.
Yeah, he's heard me too many times on Spaces. Sit down with a bottle of wine, and I end up finishing it 30 minutes in. So I'm sure he's used to that vibe. But no, I'm trying to plan a game. I don't know what week everyone's trying to go to, but I was going to tell Nick, let's plan all meet up at a game. We'll freaking take over a section of a lot. We'll have a good time. I don't know what game you guys want to do opening day. I'm down for whatever. You guys
the Jet Lounge guys have the hangars set up for week 1.
Yeah, but are you guys going to do some uSTADIUM shit? You're going to have a little setup?
Yeah. I was talking with Zach about it. It was really going to be a hanger. We're going to hang ourselves if Zach was out for the year, but now it's a little bit better. So I'll definitely talk to you guys about that after we hang this up. We'll chat. But I talked to Zach about the tailgate. We got some stuff going on week 1. Jokes, you're up, man.
What's up, fellas? Nick,
what's going on?
Can we stop now with the fucking second coming of Vinny Testaverde? Salah's not going to turn into Bill Parcells, old timers.
That's a good point.
Fucking stop it. That happened in '98. It's not happening now.
Mm-hmm.
Let the kid. We got to find out what we got in this kid. And now that it's only a few weeks, we get to find out if this kid's the real deal or not. Isn't that what the season was about?
Exactly. Hey, but let's root for Flacco though. We got
I want the win.
Support him a little bit for week 1 or 2 while he's there.
We had people going. If he goes 6-0, we going back to Zach. What are we talking about here?
I know. First off, no, there's no shot he goes 6-0.
Yeah,
second off,
kidding me?
Yes, we're going back to Zach when he's healthy to play.
That's it. That's all I needed to say, man. Thanks, boys.
Of course, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I mean we're probably like the most unstable fan base in sports, but in a good way. So when something like this happens, you just there's thought processes that just have no like reasoning, and there's no reason to even think about them. But we find a way to talk ourselves into it. The Jets have won 6 games in the past 2 seasons, and we're worried about going 6-0 against the AFC North to start the year, and then the Bills and another team on the schedule I'm drawing a blank on, but just worry about week 1 and trying to beat a team that's better than us. It's a playoff team for every single year. I know they're hurt, and I know sometimes the Ravens take a little while to kind of get moving, and it's a winnable game, I'll say, but it's a game we really don't have any business winning, if that makes sense.
You think I think Namath dropped off that horseshoe for us.
Oh God,
I just have a weird feeling, Nick. Flacco's going to light it up the first couple of weeks.
I think so too. I think he's going to play well.
Throw for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, maybe 3.
And I hope he does.
With those weapons, I think he wants to prove himself again. He's got that pop in his arm. Yeah, I just feel like with those weapons, I almost think he's almost better served as the guy early on, let's say, for the first,
agreed,
4 or 5 games of the season.
The revenge game, the tip of the cliche football term.
Yeah, I don't think he cares much about that. But
Did Flacco play against the Ravens when he was with Denver? I don't remember it for whatever reason.
I
If
think he
Splash was still
did.
here,
Yo,
I don't.
Nick, can I jump in for a second?
Yeah, of course, anytime. Anybody could jump. I don't
You
care.
you
I'd rather
saw
just
who the
have a.
Mets are calling up. I don't want to make this about baseball, right? You
No,
saw who's
what?
Brett Beatty's getting
Get
called
out
up.
of here.
Yep, I
Yeah,
just
they.
got the
I
alert.
bet you they felt the anxiety amongst the team, like what the fuck's going on for the first time. That's awesome.
All right, sorry about that guy, but
No, no,
Frank,
good. I'm glad you did that.
with the Flacco stuff, I agree with Frank because when LaFleur went upstairs, he became a different coordinator. I think it came easy for him, and he made to me he is the one reason I was so high on this offense. And
Agreed.
you're right about the weapons, Frank, with Flacco maybe taking over, and the reason why we can't, like people cannot lose sight of the fact of Zach Wilson is because if LaFleur progresses with this offense the way I think he's going to, and we have weapons around him, a special quarterback makes this team special, and that's what we need. I'm sick of everybody's. I know I want to make the playoffs. I want to win a division game, but I want there to be an end game. I want there to be that quarterback, and that's why I want this kid back there. I want to see what this kid is, because if this kid can be that kid, that special player, this franchise is going to go somewhere that we haven't seen in a long time, and that's the goal. So that's why I want him in there right away. And it's frustrating to hear, Jet fans speak that way and want the same thing. Because the other night, like, I was losing my mind. I couldn't handle it. I had to leave. I couldn't even listen to it anymore.
No, I know. I hear you, man. And actually, we just saw the cuts come in. The Jets made their first cuts, and it's Becton's on IR, ending his season, so that's official. Tim Ward, Barco, that I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, the corner. Derek Kelly and Rashard Davis. Yeah, I mean, with these cuts, there's never any like major surprises, but I guess you got good news from Zach, which you kind of expected, and then you got bad news from Becton, which you expected today, I guess, because he saw the same doctor or surgeon for a consult, so I'm sure he's going to be doing his surgery too. But Becton officially out for the year.
Nick, how do you think Becton's career is going to play out? What do you
Not
think's
good.
going to happen? You think what he's done with the team after this year, or we're going to give him
Well,
one
I
more
know this year
opportunity?
they as much as people wanted to make it seem like the Jets were like high on him, they weren't. They were worried about him, and that's why they wanted Dwayne Brown here in the first place when Becton wasn't hurt. So they just didn't trust Becton to play 17 games, So that's why they were so quick to move him to the right side, because they didn't trust him to be the left tackle of the future. And I don't know what they're going to. I mean, look, they have Dwayne Brown on somewhat under control for 2 years. I know they can move around and whatnot, but I don't think they're banking on him as their guy going forward. To bring some like negative news to the space, which has been
Yeah,
positive,
no,
but that's all right.
it's
It happens.
unfortunate, man, because his first year. Remember when Baldy had that little breakdown on him? I mean, it was like his
I
favorite
know
player
he
coming
was the
out.
best player on the team in 2020.
Yeah, he was. He had everything, but the one thing, obviously we all know is just the weight factor. It was
Yep.
just it's a laziness thing too. I mean, the guy loves to play video games. He's eating fast food all day. I'm not trying to rip on people. I've done that before
That's half
too.
of this space, right?
Maybe more. But I'm just saying, it's like it's unfortunate that you have a player like that tried to rush too fast into shape, and he was losing weight quickly. But I mean, it's like his body didn't know how to react to it. It's just it was disappointing. Well, someone on YouTube had a really good breakdown on Becton. Like, look, this guy came in at over 400 pounds. Look at him day by day, just dropping weight, but
Mm-hmm.
his body's not ready for that. You can't get into shape in a month. You need to spend 3 to 4 months before you really get into shape. That's how you get hurt. So it was just an interesting breakdown.
I know it's unfortunate. Like the injuries, the first one was like Greg Van Roten like rolled up on him, and look, like those injuries are going to happen, and when they do happen with a guy like him who is so big, and his staying in shape is such an issue for him, it's going to take him so much longer to get back and get healthy at his size, and so when these injuries do happen, because they do, it's just going to take him a lot longer. And now again, another injury in camp where he kind of just got. I think it was when he kind of just got pushed back a bit from JFM and just kind of came up gimpy, and found out that there were some of those partially torn or partially cracked kneecap or whatever the official term is, but it sucks because you had such high hope for him, and when you drafted him, we were all excited about it, and you thought he was he was the guy there. But hey, Douglas has done a really good job to at least not have it be like a catastrophe. I mean, you could tell me that we would have had Dwayne Brown, kind of just step right in. Then I'm fine with it. And I'm not worried about the offensive line right now going into the year. It's going to take them a little time, obviously, because it's 4 new starters really. But the offensive line as a whole, to me, is probably still one of our best units.
Yeah, and just playing off of that, I think another unit that I think we're going to see a lot of production from, and looking at preseason game 1, I was so excited to see these guys out there, specifically Tyler Conklin. I mean, like, this guy looked like a fucking monster with his he had his visor on. He looked like he was ready to go. He was moving quick, man.
Yeah.
And if you look at him last year, I mean, he had a really productive year last year. Didn't get too many looks, but when he did, he had 87 targets. He caught over 60 balls on 87 targets, 61 catches, almost 600 yards. Same thing on the other side. CJ, I mean, he had 63 targets, caught almost 50 balls. I mean, like, these guys are going to be productive for us. You need a tight end, especially with a young quarterback. You need them. We have 2 of them,
100%.
arguably. I mean, like, as much as we hated Dustin Keller back in the day, I know Nick used to rip him religiously. He helped Sanchez out a lot. And he opens things up on the outside, because when you're worried about the guys, the tight ends on the inside, you can't really focus all your safeties on the outside, so it opens things up for your flankers. So I just think these guys are going to be so beneficial to us. We're going to win some games because of these 2 guys on our team.
Agreed.
With our offensive line and having Conklin and Uzama out there, we're going to win some games because of these guys. So that was a really, really underrated in a way move by Joe Douglas. We talk about the trades, we talk about what he's done drafting wise, his past draft, but he brought these 2 guys in, and no one's really talking too much about it. We are Jet fans, but the outside NFL world is really not putting too much attention on here, and I think these are going to be 2 of the biggest moves we've done recently. I love both of them.
Yeah, and they complement each other well, and you've seen in camp, there's like not a day that goes by where Conklin isn't like showing out. And I know if Petey was up here, he'd tell you he was at, and I don't know if any other guys, I think JoJo was too, but I think he's not here. At the green and white scrimmage, Conklin was like one of the best guys out there. So, I mean, and you saw even the big catch he had week 1 of the preseason. He's just so heavily involved. And he's just a guy, like you said, he's never really had his shot to be, the main kind of tight end on a team. He's always been behind like a Rudolph, and then they wanted to get that the other kid in Minnesota. I'm drawing a blank on his name. He got hurt. So he was always kind of like playing second fiddle there. And it seems like, you would think Uzama is the main guy here, but it seems like Conklin's been getting most of those reps, and he's have more of a rapport with Zach and even Flacco this week. So I agree with you, Frank. I love what they did, and even drafting Rucker. I still like Kenny Yeboah too. He might make the roster because of special teams. He won't get many reps obviously on the offense, but he's a guy I like too. So they have completely overhauled the tight end room. Same way they did with the running back room too over the past few years. So I'm hoping that Zonovan Knight, the undrafted rookie, makes a team. I know you like Tevin Coleman because he knows the system. He's a veteran. It's good to have a veteran running back in that room, but I think if Zonovan Knight gets cut, I don't think he's a guy you can keep on the practice squad. I think he might get picked up.
Yeah, totally, man. And I'm looking back, just looking at past Super Bowl winners and whatnot. I mean, not saying we're set to win a Super Bowl, but you look at past Super Bowl winners, they all had top 10-ish tight ends. I mean, last year Higbee had a monster year. The year before that, Gronk. Then you have Kelsey. Then you have Gronk again. Then you have Zach Ertz. Then you have Gronk. I mean, like, even Denver that year, they had what's that guy?
Thomas, right?
Julius Thomas, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're about to call him Tim Thomas from the Knicks.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was thinking there, but yeah. But seriously, like, you need production at the tight end position. I think you look at what Baltimore now has with Mark Andrews, and you look at San Francisco. I mean, these are organizations that know how to play offense. I think they always figure it out. They always bring in the tight end. You have Kittle there. I mean, it's just something that I'm glad that we're finally looking at, because we haven't had a tight end really since Keller. And before that, when's the last time we had a tight end? Who, Anthony Beck, who aged terribly, by the way. I want to tell Anthony Beck, dude, what are you doing, man? You're not getting enough sleep? Or you drinking too much coffee, man? I mean, that guy looks like he's 85 years old. Oh my Lord! But I like Beck though. But
I know he's refreshing from Greg Buttle on the preseason covers. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
Buttle was shot.
Oh yeah, big time.
Hey, when was the last time we actually talked about or even worried about losing a guy, like cutting a good player? We were so worried for
Yeah,
years now to have good players. It's a good sign that the Jet and shows you how much they've changed that we actually worry about now cutting guys compared to in the past where we were worried when Joe Douglas got here. We didn't even have enough starters,
yeah,
let
we were just
alone
picking up
depth.
guys that
Yeah.
everybody else cut. That was our roster. It was a team of guys that everybody else was cutting. You're right. No, it's like, the first cuts you're really not going to really. I mean, I know they claimed Timmy Ward last year on cut down day, and he's in the first cuts now, so that goes to show you the depth that is already at that deep, the DM position. But um, you're going to see like there's going to be some guys out there like the receiver spot. Like I hope they don't cut Calvin Jackson, that kid. I think he's gonna he might find himself on a team. I know the Dolphins wanted him. His father played for them, so they were in the mix to sign him. So he's a guy who might get picked up if you get cut. Any of these D linemen, Zabari, Zuniga might get picked up. Obviously, Vinny Curry, who can't get on the field, it seems like. So there's some quality. Even the secondary. Isaiah Dunn is a guy who was a highly thought of undrafted free agent. He's probably on the outside looking in. So there is good players out there who are going to shake free, but. My focus really would be adding another tackle because that's the spot where I think, when you have two guys that are up there in age and then Brown's up there in age and then Fant is, kind of, coming back from an injury, your next man up can't be Connor McDermott and Chuma Adoga. I think Max Mitchell, even though he had some solid reps in the first preseason game, I still think he's a year away. But these reps will help him as long as he's not blocking for our starting quarterback at the time. But I think you still need a veteran tackle. And really, I know that Tevin Jenkins now, it seems like it's getting a little bit quieter on that front. It seems like he's getting some second-team reps at guard for the Bears. So he's not, like, by any means in their plans. So I'm sure he's available for the right kind of deal. But I would love to add a guy like him because, he does have that position flexibility. He could play left tackle, he could play right tackle, he could play guard now. So I'm curious to see what they want to do at right tackle or tackle depth because they were in on Brown and wanted to sign him before Becton got hurt. So it means they see the weakness at their tackle depth and they're going to address it. So I think that and probably another guy. When we were talking about like surprise cuts with PD in the Jet Lounge last night, I was going to chime in, but the baby was asleep and I didn't want to have my wife yelling at me, so I didn't hop in. I don't think Ashton Davis is a lock to make this team. It seems like he's definitely out of favor in their rotation. So I would watch that, and I would watch. I would watch the safety spot, see if anybody shakes free too. But they are talking highly about Jason Pinnock and his athleticism. I mean, he's big. You see him back there playing; he looks like a safety. So he's someone who's probably, again, another guy who's probably a year away from playing any minutes out there. But I think that's one spot to watch. But if you guys want to hop in, feel free. We'll open it up again. Otherwise, we can definitely wrap this up before 4:30. Frank, if you want to chime in, feel free. But I think we kind of touched on all of the pretty positive news for the Jets after what seemed pretty dark. The weekend looked pretty dark, but seems like there is some positive light at the end of the tunnel here, and you'll see Zach long before on Friday you expected. So, it's going to take him a little while to get back and get comfortable on that knee, but at least we're going to see him for what looks like the majority of the season. So, feel free, guys, to hop in if you want. Shoot a request, we'll put you through. Cousins, jokes, if you guys have anything to add, feel free.
You think he's gonna be? You think he should wear a brace on that knee?
I don't know.
I think for sure, man.
Seems
definitely.
like it, yeah.
It's a mental thing too. I mean, I know for me, and obviously I'm not a professional athlete in any regard, but I know that when I tore my ACL and then came back and started playing, pick up basketball and whatnot and stuff, just having a knee brace on mentally left me at ease without it. Even now, talking about 10 years later, I don't wear it anymore, but I sometimes want to. It's something that you're just used to. I know Russell Wilson wore it for a while too. It's almost like a mental thing that just kind of.
Sanchez had it,
Yeah,
I remember that.
And he's pretty. I wouldn't say that he was super mobile, but Zach's not fucking Michael Vick either.
Yeah.
So
I'll be honest. I don't want to see Zach just trying to run around too much, though, this
Yeah, I
season.
agree.
Like, in general. I mean, like, you look at guys like Eli Manning, they never miss games. It's because they don't really do anything other than throw the ball out of the pocket. You don't want guys that want to scramble too much, I think, unless they're, like, really, well built, like a Josh Allen that can almost take on those hits. But even him, you never know, man. I mean, as big as Carson Wentz was when he came in, I mean, it takes one bad hit to the knee, things kind of go sideways. There's nothing you could do about it. So to be honest, I don't want a scrambling type quarterback. I just don't. I want a guy that on 3rd and 14 is going to be able to read the defense, is going to be able to pick up the blitz scheme and get the ball to the right spot and get a first down. You need that. I don't know. I don't understand the love with these new style of quarterbacks that are able to run the ball all over the place, like Trey Lance and whatnot, and even Lamar Jackson, who I really like. But are you really going to build a Super Bowl, winner like that? Who's the last scrambling quarterback that won a Super Bowl? Honestly, like
You could
who?
get one, but I don't know if you can build anything
it's
sustainable.
probably
Like,
Russell Wilson was probably the last one I can remember.
Yeah, probably. And
but
even
Russ
then,
plays well within the pocket.
he
So does
does. He
Mahomes.
looks
It's
he
not his
looks to
style.
throw before
Yes,
he
I
looks to
agree.
run.
Yeah.
Mahomes too. People think Mahomes scrambles. He really
No.
doesn't. Look at
No.
Mahomes' running numbers. Mahomes throws it before he passes the line of
Zach
scrimmage.
is similar in a sense, though. He just likes to kind of move the pocket a bit. I don't know if he likes to kind of to see if he sees better when he's outside of it because he is smaller. But he likes to move the pocket more than he likes to run. If anything, he could have ran a little bit more last year. There were some times where you were like, take what they're giving you a bit. They're giving you the first down running the ball, then go for it. But I agree, Frank. I think to build long-term success and to build like a sustainable winner, you don't want a guy running around taking so many hits. It's just look what happened to Cam Newton, and he's massive. Josh Allen can't be taking all these hits too. Like it's going to catch up
Perfect
to you eventually.
analogy. Yeah.
Lamar he's running for 1,000 yards a year. I mean, he's been lucky enough to stay pretty much healthy. I know he was banged up last year, but a lot of it was COVID too. I think he missed a bunch of games for, but you don't, especially someone in the frame of Lamar who's not as big as like a Josh Allen. You just can't be taking those hits and expect to have like a 15-year career. But I mean, you could win if everything clicks, like kind of with Cam did when he won the MVP that year and went to the Super Bowl. You could win a Super Bowl with it, and shit. I mean, at this point, I'd do anything to take a Super Bowl. But to build like a sustainable winner, it's not the best path. But Captain, go ahead. We'll Captain and Iceman.
No, I was gonna say I think he wears the big bulky brace to begin with, and then they trim it down and put like one of those neoprene sleeves on him.
Yeah, maybe this. It's crazy to think. Maybe this kind of helps him play the game smarter and like takes what's there instead of trying to play like that hero Superman ball all the time and like running around out of the pocket, like trying to make these massive plays down the field. Yeah, you want him to do that because that's what makes him who he is. But you also want him to play the game within himself and within the game, and at least take what's there and not always have to try and move around all the time. So maybe this keeps him a little bit more in the pocket and he can improve as a passer there. Iceman, what's up? I see you with your hand up.
How y'all doing today?
What's up, buddy? What's going on?
Just hanging out,
Yo,
watching
what's up,
baseball. You know how it rolls. But with the whole Trey Lance conversation, why would you necessarily label him as a scrambler and all that? Because if you look at the preseason game, that man didn't even scramble once. He moves out of the pocket, play action rollout. He readjusts on the pass. Like, I mean, would you not take advantage of his skill sets?
I don't think he's a scrambling quarterback.
I know. Well, I was just responding to your other co-host saying he was a scrambling quarterback.
He's more of a scrambling quarterback than most quarterbacks. How many times? I mean, look at how many times in Trey Lance's career, take college and the NFL, has he thrown for over 300 yards? He barely has ever done it. I think he's done it 3 times in like 35 games. He has 50-yard games where he rushes for. Look at him in college. He had a 33 QBR last year, a 57 completion percentage. He's not a pocket quarterback. Now, what's it called? The coach might make him into one because he's an amazing play developer, but Trey Lance is not a pocket quarterback. I don't think he's on a scrambling quarterback. I don't know if he's like a prototypical scrambling quarterback like we're used to, but He's
No, he's
more
not
of a
like Kyler
scrambler.
Murray or Russell Wilson, but would you not take advantage of his legs like every now and then with the
Yeah,
man
it adds
run?
an extra element to the offense for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I'm saying. But Kyle Shanahan wants him to pass because obviously RG3 was a scrambler running quarterback, and we saw what happened. But no,
hmm
Shanahan's going to take advantage of his running ability. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, you got to be careful to how many times you expose him
Which is fair.
to hits. But yeah, I mean, if you can add an extra element to the offense, it's only Shanahan's going to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
look
makes
at
sense.
you remember that Arizona game though. He had 16 carries. Trey Lance. They rushed him 16 times for 90 yards or 89 yards. I'm looking here. Week
I mean,
before
I don't
7
know.
carries. I mean, like it's just I'd rather not. If it's me, if I'm building a team, I would rather not have a quarterback.
I mean,
That
that's fair. I
is,
respect where you're
you
coming
know,
from. I wouldn't label him as a scrambler because a scrambler, when I think of, is Kaepernick.
Vic.
First he's not there.
Whenever
Run.
I think of
No.
scramble, I think of Vic.
Trey
He's like the
Lance wants to
prototypical.
look through his progressions and pass. So I get where you're coming from. I respect it. I just think I wouldn't label him as a scrambler per se because I would think of Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson.
okay, but I'm just letting you know one thing. In his one game in college in 2020, he had 15 carries for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. In 2019, he had 128 carries in 13 games, 870 yards, which is awesome. Like, listen, those are great numbers. That's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying he does run the ball. Like, don't get it twisted. Trey Lance likes to run the
I agree
ball.
with you on that,
Yeah.
but also North Dakota State is a run-heavy offense. And if you're a head coach and offensive coach, would you not take advantage of a 6'4", 220-pound sledgehammer running over dudes from Central Arkansas?
Absolutely, but why did they draft him 3rd overall and traded all those picks to get him? What did they traded 3 firsts? Not based on
the
his
number 12, the number 28th, and TBD.
Yeah, okay, that's still 3.
I know.
How many times did he throw? He never threw for over 200 yards in college. He did it 3 times all year. He's a 150, 180, 125, but he rushed for 83 yards, for 95 yards,
Yeah,
for
they're
116
betting
yards.
on the ceiling. They're betting on the ceiling of
I mean,
Lance.
but also you got to think if you're up 28-10, like North Dakota State, we all can objectively agree is like the Alabama FCS. If you're up 21-0, why the hell are you going to throw the ball? There's no point. Just run out the clock.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. There's a lot to.
I just don't want my quarterback. You saw what happened. You saw what happened to Carson Wentz.
I mean, that's fair. I mean,
I'm just saying it takes one hit, man. The NFL takes one hit. You slow down a bit because you mess your knee up. Your speed becomes you go from a 4.5, let's say, to a 4.6 and change, and then your agility waffles a bit. You start becoming a little slower on the field. Defenses are able to catch up to you. All it takes is one finger, man, to grab someone. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So
I get that. You could say the same thing if Mahomes takes a hit or if it's any quarterback.
No, but if Mahomes takes a hit, he's good, though, because even if he doesn't need to scramble, he can throw from the pocket. Trey Lance is not going to be able to throw from the pocket effectively all the time. He's just not. We could put a bet on it. I'm not trying to be a hater. I just don't understand. Like, people suck this guy off all of a sudden, and I'm telling you right now, he's not going to be a pocket passing quarterback. He never was. He never was in college. He never was last year. He's not going to be this year. They're just depending on him to rush for 60 to 70 yards a game. And I wouldn't want my quarterback to be dependent on that to move the ball.
I don't think they're going to depend on him to rush 70 yards a game when you got Debo, Ayuk, your 4 running backs. I mean, I get your point. I can respectfully agree to disagree, and that's fair. I mean, I have enough faith in Lance's arm to be a pocket passer, make the moves, step up when he needs to. Like, that's cool. I mean, our definitions of pocket passer and scrambler can be similar and different. And that's the thing about football. No one is going to always agree. We can agree on certain things. We can disagree on certain things. And at the end of the day, like my answer for both of us was Zach Wilson and Trey Lance, Lawrence, Mac Jones. We will see.
Exactly.
We will see who hit in the right spot. We will see who's a bust. Like, that's the beauty of hell. Justin Fields. We will see. That's the beauty of football.
We're never going to see about Justin Fields because they gave him no opportunity to be successful.
I had to remember he was drafted.
Yeah, I got you. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up, boys. Hit the 4:30 mark. Boys and girls out there, appreciate you all hopping in to chat and listen in. I'm gonna definitely again do these basically as the weeks as the weeks get closer to the season, just pop up randomly every day. So appreciate you guys hopping in on such short notice. MLB Mondays on the uSTADIUM MLB account is there. They at least have some structure to it. We're a little bit more like loosey goosey here, but appreciate Cousins, Iceman. Thanks for hopping in and chatting. JoJo, PD. I know they're all hopped out, but thank you guys all for joining. Follow the uSTADIUM accounts on all the platforms, Instagram, even TikTok. Don't ask me what TikTok is much about. I don't know, but I know we have one. Twitter, all that fun stuff. Download the uSTADIUM app. Try the takes feature. Hit me up for some U coins. We can get you guys started on the takes feature. So if you think like Frank that Trey Lance is going to be a bottom 10 quarterback this year, put some U coins on it, win some money. Shoot me over your uSTADIUM app username. We'll get you some free points to try it out. And again, thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day, rest of the week, and we'll be back soon. Take care.